Day 4 of the cut vlog, and we're on my favorite day, arm day. Arms have not always been my favorite day, but the computer chair arm day has been something that has really grown on me. I don't know how I decided to start just doing an arm day from the comfort of my computer chair, whether it's pure laziness or pure genius, I don't know, but I like it and something that seems to be working well. So there's a lot of sets on this day. There's 2 bicep movements, 2 tricep movements with 5 sets of each. And so I'm not going to record everything. I'm going to record like maybe 1 or 2 sets from each of them. Okay. There's some forearm curls. There's some wrist extensions. So I'll just record little bits, maybe a set or 2 of each of them. But I think what would be cool is to show like kind of what my arms look like before I get a pump and then after, because I'm definitely a grower, not a shower. My arms volumize dramatically. Pretty much every body part on me. Like when I get a pump, it looks substantially different. Some guys can kind of just have that fullness and roundness and that tight skin look as a natural state, but that's definitely not me. I generally kind of look a little bit more stringy without a pump. Let's get into that. Let me do like some quick posing on my arms and just see what it looks like. And then we'll compare that once I actually get a pump and just kind of see how much fuller and rounder everything looks. All right, let's see what we got. 0 pump. Arms look like little string beans. All right, so that's kind of the baseline, and we'll see just how pumped and swollen we can get these bad boys. Bicep curls, roll my ass over here. Got some Whittler playing in my ears. Big into dubstep. First dubstep show I went to, man, it would have had to have been so long ago, but it was Caspa. And if you know, goddamn, fucking up. And if you know, Caspa is one of the pioneers of dubstep. All right, here we go. See if the plate stays on this time. Try to find. So I'm shooting for like 40 reps. 2, 3, 4, 6. Oh, woo. It's the first time I've actually been able to get 40 continuous reps. What I've been doing is rest pausing to 40. So like maybe I get 30, right, continuous, I rest for a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and clean up the last 10. But that's the first time I've been able to get 40 continuous. So next week, I'll actually raise the weight up. And yep, doing these little kind of half reps, just right, kind of staying almost in the mid-range and just pumping blood into the arm. Oh man, painful pump out the gate. All right, so now supersetting that with a tricep press down. Same thing, shooting for 40 reps. Little body English is all right. Just rocking, in and out on the tension. 40, oh yeah. All right, so we beat 40 this week on both of these. Well, 40 continuous there, 45 here. So next week we're gonna bump that weight up next week. Still trying to progress these. Crazy pump already. Crazy pump already. All right, so I'm gonna log that up and pretty much just bounce back and forth with, not a whole lot of rest. Just finished up my second round and already have a really skin tight pump with the vascularity coming out. So everything's swelling up, feeling good, getting rounder, getting bigger. Love it. So getting into the third set. Hey. Oh, shit. Oh man. High reps are something else because you just get that crazy burn. Whew. I honestly think that high reps on certain movements way harder than low reps with heavier weight, like legs, and for me, arms. Something that historically I've not liked training arms, like that pump, that burning sensation in my biceps. I'm not good at tolerating it, and that's probably why my arms aren't great. But it's just a little bit easier for me to tune into that, I think, with the higher rep stuff. So, all right. One, two, three, four. Fuck. Woo. Fuck. Hey. Hey. Oh. Fuck. Ooh, shit. Oh yeah. The skin feels like it could just rip. That's what I want. That's what we want. Getting into set 5 of 5 here for the curls and the press downs. Let's just see where we're at here. I don't know what it looks like on camera, but crazy pump. Skin splitting pump. So we'll keep leaning into it. Hit up this last set. Then we switch it up. We get into a hammer curl and an overhead press, an overhead extension. Basically the same thing, but just with the hammer grip. I guess this would be like a concentration curl, basically. A little bit heavier. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5. Oh shit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, shit. All right, this overhead extension. So on this, I really don't worry about lining anything up. I just get the cable up overhead, and then I swivel around the chair to where I feel the tension where I want to feel it at. So just kind of let it move around, get my arm up, and I'm just looking for that stretch through the long head. If I don't feel it, I just kind of move around, swivel until I do. Yep. 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Shit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 more like that. Oh man. You know, this is one of those things where it's like, it's not everything I'm doing with these like kind of short partial reps. It's not the norm, right? And I think I said it in one of the other videos, but I was watching a video with that Russian guy that's getting really popular with the huge arms, Smeev, Andre Smeev, something like that. And he has a lot of these like little short pumper reps, right? Like he's just kind of pumping on the muscle, right? Just staying in the tension, pumping on the muscle. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just give that a shot, because one of the things with my arms, particularly my biceps, is like I just have a hard time staying on the muscle. And it's like I can get on it and off it. The contraction's just not really there. It's just I have a hard time staying in the lane. I always have. You know, with these little reps, it's like I'm extending my arm just to the point where that tension kind of drops off, and then just rocking back and squeezing through it. And on each and every rep, I'm able to almost feel like I'm like knotting up or cramping the bicep. Same thing on the tricep. And I really don't get that on any other movement. Even if I'm doing like a single arm preacher curl with full range of motion, I don't get that same sensation. And I think a part of it is like doing these short reps, just staying in the tension. There's so much blood that gets into the muscle so rapidly that it makes it really easy for me to feel what's happening. And the quality of the contraction because there's so much blood being sent to that muscle, it just builds and builds and builds with each of these reps. And every single session that I've done with this arm day, with this style, has resulted in this crazy pump that I feel right now. Whereas on other arm days where I could still be blasting high volume, but executing it a little bit differently, sometimes the pump would be hit or miss. So just in my mind, it's like, hey, I can feel the response. Something good has to be coming from this. So I'm just gonna lean into it. And I think I mentioned this in the other video too, like I taped my arms on the last arm day that I did, and they are bigger than they've ever been. So something's happening. So just a matter of staying with it, staying consistent, not flip-flopping around, just stay with this for a long period of time and really give it its time to let it shine and see what I can come up with doing it. Last set of hammers and overhead extensions. Having to do a little bit of an assist here on the last couple reps. Self-assist. 2, 3, 4, 8, oh. 30. Ooh, a little rest. Gonna eat these last 10 reps up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, knock out the other side. Oh shit. Ooh, 10 more. Little rest pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know if we can really count that last one, but all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 5. Oh, fuck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Woo. So that pretty much wraps up the biceps and triceps, and now I'll get into a little bit of forearm work, but solid. We're getting into some forearm work. It's a movement like this, and I think it's called radial deviation. So I'm gonna grab onto, I've got my D handle, right? And I flip it like this, and I'm gonna grab the fabric and everything so that I can, as such. And I'm gonna get a little bit of bicep in it too. So I just get myself like this, and I just kind of pump. So I'm pumping a little bit of bicep. I'm getting all this top edge of the forearm. Ooh, shit. Pick up some bicep, forearm. Feels good. Doesn't look like much, but I feel it. Definitely feel the left side more than the right. 5 sets of that. It's boring, it's repetitive, but I'm just trying to spam my arms and forearms and delts with just blood and volume, and it feels good though. Boring, tedious, repetitive, but that's a lot of what this is. All right, let's blast another one. Knock these out pretty quick. I like to play around with the angles, just move a little bit, see what I feel. Woo. Might have jumped into that a little bit too quickly. Rest, pause, eat up 10 more reps. A few more like that, and then move on to some curls. All right, now we got a little bit of a wrist curl here. So I just get in here, get this lined up, kind of almost lean over. And I'm just gonna curl. I'm gonna go curl down. I'm gonna curl to the middle, curl up, all sorts of different angles. Ooh. Ooh. This left forearm wants to cramp up on me sometimes, but just we're hitting all this kind of inside edge of the forearm, right? I don't know why, but this one always wants to cramp up on me, like a sharp, sharp cramp. Pump on the biceps and the triceps are starting to fade, but forearms are getting nice and juicy. So now onto some shoulders, some lateral raises with some heavy weights. Real heavy weights here. Heavy duty. 10 pounds. But I'm just gonna raise up and just stay on it. Ooh. Oh. Oh shit. Ooh, dude, 10 pounds. But when you just, oh God, I can't even raise my arms. But when you just stay in the tension, 10 pounds can be brutal. Plus I'm seated, so I can't really put any body English into it. I don't know that I would have as much faith in what I'm doing or feel as confident in it if I didn't also have some heavier loading in some of my other sessions. So, you know, these are 10-pound dumbbells. It's not a whole lot, but in some of my other sessions, you know, I've got heavier pressing for the delts, heavier lateral raises. So my mindset with this session is just don't get greedy. Just go off of pure feel. Purely put as much blood in the muscle as possible and just try to get it as round as humanly possible as I can by the end of the session. And keeping the tension, just pumping in and out of it. You know, it's really interesting because like when I first started getting into lifting in like the earlier years, everything that you saw, and I don't even know if just on Instagram, but just like generally speaking, like bodybuilding.com forums, like what stuff was available on YouTube, Instagram, there was this, everybody was talking about constant tension and, you know, chest pressing and just, geez, my shoulders are smoked. Just, you know, not doing full lockout, just riding through the tension, just riding that tension. And then, you know, at some point it changed to, you know, full range of motion, everything through full range of motion. And full range of motion became like extreme ranges of motion where like, you know, if you're not squatting and fucking sucking your own dick, like you're not going deep enough. And it's just interesting because if you stick around in the fitness space for long enough, you're gonna see these things just come and go. And I think a part of it, why these things get popular or why we have these, not fads, but like phases, is because content. Like people need to talk about something. People need to talk about something, right? They need to put content out. They need to have the new next thing. And when, you know, you've got somebody popular talking about it, well, it's just going to trickle downhill and you're going to have more people talking about it like it's the next best thing. And then everybody's doing this thing until the next thing comes around. You know what I mean? It's really interesting. It happens with training. It happens with supplements. It happens with everything. With the diet, high carb, low carb. It's just everything comes in phase. If you stick around long enough, you'll see this kind of this seasonal rotation of these different various ideas. I wanna love you every day and every night. Oh, fuck. Oh. Fuck. Oh man, I dig it though. Ooh. Shit. All right, last set here. I'm actually gonna go single arm on this last one. Ooh. Ooh, 5 more. Oh. Oh. That's it. And we're not done yet. Gotta blast some rear delts. Oh, I can't even raise my arm. Just doing a single arm rear delt fly. But just take note of what my rear delt looks like right now. All right, the kind of shape that's on it. And you'll see after I hit this first set, you're gonna see much more roundness in this whole area right here on the back of that delt. Same thing as all the other movements I've been doing, just kind of rocking in and out of that tension. Just trying to get that rear delt not on it. There we go. There we go. You can literally see it contracting. Got 10 more. Ooh, shit. Oh, pure rear delt. You can already see that backside of the delt filling up. Oh yeah, that's what you want, that nice roundness back there. I got a lot of work to do on my rear delts, but they're not horrible. Just flip-flopping back and forth. Might actually drop the weight on this. Sometimes I have a hard time finding that rear delt on these single arm movements. On a reverse pec deck, I can get it really easily. I'm almost thinking like elbow high and trying to stay long, not back here, but just rocking on that rear delt. Yeah, right on it on the right side. I don't even know how many reps I got, doesn't matter. We're just gonna go until I can't go anymore. That's it. All right, that's a wrap. Biceps, triceps, forearms, delts. So that wraps up the arm day and day 4 of the cut vlog. Weight today was 223 and something, so it came up a little bit. I think yesterday was 223.6, today 223.8. So weight's staying down, no crazy fluctuations of lately. Basically just eating. So the game plan was to eat about 2,300 calories. But what I think I'm gonna do, not 2,300 calories, 3,000 calories. And my previous baseline was 3,800. Okay, so pretty decent clip right there, just going from 38 to 3,000. But what I think I'm gonna do is, I like fasting, okay? I don't have a problem with not eating. It's not a big deal to me. So what I think I'm gonna do on my non-training days is just see what little food I can get away with. Just see what little food I can get away with. Push my first meal of the day back until I start really getting some severe hunger signals. And then I'll just lean into protein, veg, fats, and try to hold the carbs off until right before bed. I love doing that. Carbs right before bed. I get sleepy, knocks me out. Quality sleep, love it. But just seeing, like, you know, how little food I can get away with, or how little food I can push on the non-training days. I want to make sure that I get my protein in for sure, but just trying to stay down on the carbs and fats and limit how many meals, right? And in that, just be able to kind of push a little bit harder. So I'm gonna mess around with that and see how it goes. And if it becomes an issue where I get into that next training day and it's just not there, right? I'm not getting the response I want, the strength isn't there, then, you know, I'll have to adjust accordingly, because I don't want that to be the case. But for the time being, while I'm early into this, I think I'm gonna push pretty hard on the non-training days and just see what I can get away with. So, all right, I'll wrap up the video here. So next week, this closes out the first week of the training cycle. So next week I go lower, upper, lower arms. So 2 lower sessions, 1 upper session this same arm day. So catch you on the next one.